Tailback in the eye as James gets the call, and this time the Falcons ready for him. Stop him at the line of scrimmage. First on the scene was Chris Houston.
And I know certainly Edgerrin James is motivated by the fact that they're in the playoffs and he wants to win a championship. But there is also a chip on his shoulder about the size of Cleveland out there, because he is clearly upset with how he's been used. He wants to go somewhere else. He wants to run the ball more, and he has been frustrated, and he's taking his frustration out on the Falcons tonight.
Third down play. Warner backs away, changes the play perhaps. Play clock at 3. Pumps once, still looking downfield as he rolls to his right and tosses it away. Caught by Rackers on the sideline. Nice catch. You say kickers don't have good hands?
All the time. For Kurt Warner, is a good understanding. He was out there. There was not a single receiver anywhere in sight, but outside the pocket, you throw it away and you take the punt. But big moment in the game there for Atlanta's defense. We just talked about it. That could have been a huge momentum turn here. Still very much in it now.
So the defense holds. It comes through, forces the punt by Graham. Douglas, the rookie, deep. Wow. Nearly blocked. Douglas says get away from it, but it takes kind of a lateral bounce and will be downed inside the 15-yard line.
Well, I thought if Troy Bierman laid out there, I think he might have gotten that one. Sometimes tough for a rookie to take that kind of a chance in a playoff game, but he gets through here clearly, and instead of laying out and making that block, he tried to pull off of it. I'm sure not wanting to make the huge mistake, but I'm not so sure if he lays out on that one, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, as it is, the Falcons will take over. Less than a minute to go in the third. Turner again and draws a crowd, surrounded and taken down.
I tell you, Bertrand Berry has just played a fantastic game today. He is staying in his post. He is staying backside. Here they're going to come with that old cutback play one more time. Bertrand Berry's not chasing anything. He has been a nightmare with his pass rush, and he is doing a fantastic job against the run on that backside tonight.
11th season from Notre Dame, and the Arizona coach is preaching stay at home, and they have today for the most part. Norwood gets the call to the 20-yard line as the final seconds tick away from the third quarter. Atlanta's glad to see it end. They lost a fumble. They went 3 and out, and an interception in the third quarter. And that'll do it. That's the end of the third quarter. Arizona leading Atlanta 28-17. And NBC's NFL Wildcard Playoff continues after these messages from your local NBC station. True to form, Arizona good in the third quarter. They scored 14-0 for Atlanta, the best third quarter team in the NFL. Now 3rd and 6 for the Falcons. Ryan in that third quarter was only 2 of 6 for 7 yards and an interception. And this pass is too tall for his intended receiver, Michael Jenkins. And a punt will be upcoming.
Well, after all the third downs that Matt Ryan was able to convert in the first half and the way he finished there, it has been a different story here. And really, it has been since the play by Darnell Dockett, that caused fumble, that it seems to have unsettled the Falcons on offense. They just seem completely uncomfortable since that happened.
Kanan in punt formation. Picks up the low snap and sends it to Breston, who calls a fair catch at his own 45-yard line. NBC's NFL Wildcard Playoffs brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution. By Vizio, America's HD TV company. To learn more, log on to Vizio.com. And by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Duracell. Tom Hammond, Chris Collinsworth, Tiki Barber. First NFL playoff game. It's the NFC wildcard matchup, 4-5 matchup between Arizona and Atlanta. And Arizona leading 28-17 after a 14-0 third quarter. Hand off to Edgerrin James. This is the formula as a flag comes flying in. This is the formula that's worked for Arizona today. Edgerrin James, pound, 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 and then hit a big pass. Boy, wire on that tackle.
Personal foul, face mask, number 50, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Remember, there's no incidental face mask anymore, so you have to grab and turn it, and there is no question about that one.
Lucky his head's still on. That's Curtis Lofton, the rookie from Oklahoma.
And this has not happened much to this team this year. Defense has committed only 14 penalties, and that is the fewest in the NFL. They don't allow big plays. They don't beat themselves. And so far today, well, let's give the offense a little credit after that fumble. That one's the one that sort of turned the tide here.
36-yard line for Arizona. Warner trying to set up a screen, it appeared, but Atlanta had all kinds of penetration into the backfield, and that one did not look good from the start. J.J. Arrington on the reception from Kurt Warner. Chauncey Davis just about got there as soon as he did.
Yeah, and Kendall Moorhead did as well. They just almost read that one out. And now for Arizona, you don't want to get too conservative with this thing. Remember, the Atlanta Falcons have a very explosive offense. You've got everything going your way. All you need probably is another 10 yards or so with a legitimate shot at the field goal. Don't rein it in now. You've made your living as an offensive unit. Keep firing.
Blitz comes from Atlanta. Pass juggled and caught by Urban, but it'll only get a couple of yards out of it. The Atlanta Falcons have not been able to sack Kurt Warner today, and John Abraham, third best in the league, has been controlled by the offensive line of the Cardinals and the quick release of Kurt Warner.
Yeah, in fairness to John Abraham, he's been paid a lot of attention, and there's Mike Gandy. It's his birthday today, and so he's gotten one of the best birthday presents ever if they can keep John Abraham off the sack charts.
Yeah, Abraham had a birthday present planned for him, but so far it's still wrapped. Warner on 3rd and long, sandwiched by the rush, and then his intended receiver Breston fell down.
Yeah, every time that the Falcons need to play defensively, they've dialed up this blitz, trying to come from his backside there, and it is hurried Kurt Warner. I thought that was what changed the first half when they quit sitting back and they started bringing pressure. So maybe they're going to try and get back to that package again here, at least on 3rd down. And that stop kept them out of field goal range, and now they're going to have to punt.
Seen quite a few slips on this field today. As Tiki reported earlier, it was Saad was changed out and brought in. Here's Finneran letting it bounce. There's a flag down. Took a great Arizona bounce. It'll be down at about the 1-yard line. And we'll check the penalty.
I think one of the Falcons players on the gunner basically just tackled him, slung him to the ground. It was after the kick, so it just backed them up from here if that's what they called.
It looks like it's going to be a hold against the Falcons. And still some confusion here.
I think they're trying to figure out, was it pre-kick or post-kick?
During the kick, holding. Number 23, correction on the offense, kicking team. That penalty will be assessed at the end of the play.
And there's the hold. We'll be right back.
My nickname's Matty Ice. It started back when I was in high school. They tease you every once in a while about the nickname, but for the most part, you know it's a good nickname when people really only start calling you that, and that's been the case around the locker room.
Well, they'll need to be Matty Ice now because pinned deep down in the 4th quarter. It's the 3rd time today an Arizona punt has put Atlanta deep inside the 10.
I think you need to go hard count here to slow down this pass rush a little bit.
From his end zone, he will be able to get it off.
No.
No, they say no. So
That's
a safety.
Good call.
Antonio Smith, the first man to wrap him up. And in the grass called, in the end zone, 2 points on the safety.
Well, almost a safety earlier, but this one was clearly in the grass. The official called it, and for Matt Ryan, you simply cannot hold the ball that long in the end zone. That's a good call by the officials.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 90 on the defense, Arizona. Excessive celebration. That penalty will be enforced on the safety.
We talked about it there before the snap. You knew the Cardinals were going to be trying to rip off the ball. They've been doing it the entire time. And they were able to get it there. Kind of hard to blame anybody on defense for celebrating after the day that they've had. Yeah, well, okay, well, maybe that's too much. He said, I've seen enough of that. He gave him a couple of Buck and Bronco rides, but he said the third and fourth, that was too much.
Are you surprised at the defense of the Cardinals today and how well they've played?
You know, Tom, it has been, they have taken advantage of this crowd noise. And all night long, we have simply seen the Cardinals anticipating the snap count. And Matt Ryan not doing enough with his snap count to try and slow him down a little bit. Early on, they got him offside some. They haven't done it here. But that wasn't so much that case there. It was really Matt Ryan holding the ball too long. You're at a key point in the ball game. You have to be able to get rid of it. And as great a year as he's had, he's made some rookie mistakes here this afternoon.
Cardinals hosting their first playoff game in 61 years, 60 seasons. And they've run off 16 straight points now to lead it 30-17. And on the free kick, Kanan is going to punt. Punts it high toward Breston, who fields it, drops it, picks it up again. And turned around, hit hard, short of the 15-yard line. And Mike Smith's had a rough afternoon in his first playoff game as a head coach.
Saturday continues. Next, rivals collide. Can Peyton Manning take the Colts back to the Super Bowl? Or will lightning strike for the surging Chargers? Wild Card Saturday continues. Next, only on NBC.
Kenny Awebama was guilty of a penalty there as we went to break. Push in the back, cost him half the distance to the goal, so they'll be backed up. But you know, one of the stories of this game has to be the play of the defense of the Cardinals unexpectedly today.
Yeah, no question. They've been sensational, but this is still a 2-touchdown game.
Right.
You know, so it's a long way from over, and now because a couple of those penalties have come about, now Arizona's backed up in a dangerous position. So now your playing calling has to be a little bit different.
It's not much of a surprise either. Shouldn't be anyway. I think that Matt Ryan has had rookie moments today.
He clearly has, and that was the worst of them, that last play.
Warner, quick toss out to Fitzgerald. Makes a pretty good gain on first down of it before Foxworth grabs him by the ankles. And Arizona, you know, everybody said that they couldn't succeed against good teams. They had a record of 9-7. They won the NFC West, acknowledged as a weak division. Sort of limped into the playoffs, didn't finish that well. But they've looked like a completely different team here today. It's been very impressive on both sides of the football.
And Ken Wisenhunt was really clear about it. He said our guys had a letdown. You know, they clinched so early, and we have a bunch of young guys, and they didn't know how to handle it. And actually, they got blown out in a couple of games after that, but they seem to have pieced it back together here.
There's a first down run by Edgerrin James, dragging Keith Brooking with him. And he looks like a different player as well.
He really does. I mean, this is just been the Edgerrin James that they thought they got a few years back. And this is nothing but old-fashioned power football. There's no tricky things going on here. This is an offensive line that has been much maligned for their inability to run block, and they are just taking over this game at this point.
15 carries, 73 yards for Edgerrin James. That's almost 5 yards a carry. And if they can get the running, there the whistle stops that play. If they can get the running game going with the passing attack they have and 3 receivers over 1,000 yards, wow.
False start. Number 63 offense, double clutch. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Lyle Sinline, the center, called on the penalty. And not only has Edgerrin James gained 73 yards, but a lot of them have come after he's been hit.
Yeah, well, he is running like an angry man today. He certainly is. And I tell you have to give a little credit to Todd Haley as well, the offensive coordinator, a guy that has made some great adjustments here. He has decided to stick with his running game, and it's worked.
Kurt Warner's pass. Spock, the tight end.
Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, is trained under Bill Parcells. He said, you know, Kurt Warner is one of those guys, he gets bored. He always wants more stuff in. He's used to Mike Martz, who had 400 plays on his play sheet. He said, but I was trained by Bill Parcells, who he would come in and ask me, how many plays do you have in the game plan? I'd say 50. And he'd say, well, get rid of 25 of them. You know, so we're in a little conflict there.
110 yards to 8 in this second half. From the eye, tailback spot. James wrapped up this time. And the yellow flags fly as that confrontation between Bierman and James went all the way to the sideline and then some.
It's like a hold, though, on the Cardinals.
63 offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
The Sinline called for a false start earlier, and that time called for the hold. And of course, this is just the first of 2 on Wild Card Saturday. Coming up, game 2, Peyton Manning and the Colts, LT and the Chargers. Last word we had was LT said he was going to play. The Bridge Show up next. The Diet Pepsi Bridge Show will come up after this game before the start of the second game, the Colts and the Chargers. Big afternoon here of football on NBC, starting with the U.S. Army All-American game and then 2 NFL wildcard games. Draw play, Hightower. Run into his own man. It's like they have magnets in them. I don't keep running into their own men.
Well, that was the most athletic play we've seen all day by an offensive lineman. Mike Gandy actually got out of the way of the running back that time. Edgerrin James probably thinking, oh, why didn't they do that for me? Here's Gandy on his birthday. Watch this. Ole, get out of the way. Nice play, Mike. And happy birthday. Need a stop right here, though, for Atlanta. They need 2 touchdowns to win this thing. And it's hard to imagine if they convert here, they're going to have too many more opportunities.
On 3rd and 12, the Atlanta defense looking for a big stop. Kurt Warner retreats, throws underneath. Fitzgerald tackled well short of the first down, and so the Atlanta defense does hold, thanks in part to a couple of penalties against the Cardinals. Stephen Nicholas on that tackle.
All right, it's Matty Ice time now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the rookie of the year. The running game isn't going, and so now you really don't have a whole lot of choice, but there is time. I mean, they do not have to get away from the running game with their game plan here. They can stay in this offense, 1 touchdown, and they're in good shape.
Graham will punt to Douglas. Low punt. Douglas, chance for a return. But good coverage by Arizona, taken down at about the 41-yard line. Special teams tackle by Matt Ware. Matty Ice takes over.
Hey, Coach Mora, we're going to throw a playoffs party in my backyard. Big screen TV, lots of cold, refreshing Coors Light.
You kidding me?
No, we're even going to play touch football with the neighbors.
I don't care. who you play.
Coach, there's going to be girls at our party. You think we should talk to them about the playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Playoffs?
Frost Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL playoffs.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Okay.
Don't talk about
I brought it
playoffs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I want to ask one question. You ready for Friday night?
Brilliant, breathtaking, extraordinary. The best is back. If you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? Friday Night Lights returns January 16th on NBC.
Matt Ryan facing the biggest moment of his pro career. His brother Mike is here to watch him. They call him Motts. The two of them were involved in a serious traffic accident when Motts and Matt were younger. That pass incomplete on first down. They were actually collided with a military fuel truck. And Mike, the older brother, had been a backup quarterback at Widener College in Pennsylvania. And his injuries in that crash were so severe that he was unable to continue as a quarterback. Desperately wanted to play football but could not continue. Matt was in the car with him and was not seriously injured. And for months he wondered, why me? Why did I escape when my older brother, whom I idolized, had his career ended? And it took a long time for him to get rid of the guilt and to be able to go on to have the great career he had at Boston College and now Rookie of the Year in the NFL. That pass on the mark. Finneran. So dealing with the guilt of his brother's career having been ended while he was spared. His brother here to watch him today along with Matt's parents, Bernice and Mike Sr. And he's trying to pull one out for the Falcons. This talented rookie facing a third down. Ryan's pass knocked down, intended for Jenkins, and incomplete.
Well, that time the Cardinals coming with a blitz of their own. They're going to send everybody off the left side here. And Matt Ryan really had a chance to step up into that throw. It's one of the few times a day I've seen him seem to be affected by the blitz. He faded away from that throw when there was really no reason to. His offensive line had it picked up.
Roderick Hood's had a good day, too, for the Cardinal defense, as Mike Smith's going to go for it on fourth down. 4th and 6. 7 minutes to go in the game.
A little early for this, maybe.
Ryan's pass caught out of the backfield. Norwood has a first down and more. Cuts back Norwood inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Big play on 4th and 6. Francisco chases him down, but not until Norwood has a 30-yard gain.
Well, they came right back with the same blitz again, and that time Matt Ryan stepped up and made the throw. He threw it simply over the top. They anticipated the blitz. Just a great call on that one by Mike Mularkey.
First down of the half for the Falcons. Ryan back in rhythm, completes another one. And the tight end Peel draws a crowd. Slammed down around the 20-yard line.
And we've yet to see a run, I think, on this drive, and due in large part to the fact that Michael Turner averaging just 2.3 yards per carry. Clearly the difference in this one has been the ability of the Cardinals to stop the run.
Clock under 6 minutes. Ryan had a man open, found him. Jenkins close to the first down marker on forward progress. Looks like they'll mark it just short. Hood with another tackle.
And Matt Ryan doing a good job getting this ball out of his hands quickly. The Cardinals not playing prevent defense, but clearly not wanting to give up the big play.
Ryan keeps it and picks up the first down. Now less than 5.5 to play.
Yeah, and it's time to pick up the pace here a little bit. They're going to have to pick up the tempo now, because you know on the other side of the ball is Kurt Warner, and they clearly have the ability to pick up some first downs once they get it back. So going back to the huddle here, a little surprising.
5 minutes left.
Free play? Nope.
Flag is down. Ryan tossed it into the end zone where it was picked off, but the whistle had already blown the play dead.
Offside. Number 92. Defense unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Bertrand Berry, who has had a big game for the Arizona defense as well.
But we've seen it all day long.
Yeah.
They've been anticipating the snap count, so occasionally you're going to give up one of these. Unfortunately, there for Matt Ryan, he thought he had a free play, and if they had allowed it, he had a free shot at the end zone. They blew it dead trying to protect the quarterback.
Ball now at the 10-yard line. Short drop and a quick toss. Good for 5 yards to White. Close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Again, just getting it out of their hands quickly. The cornerbacks are playing off of these receivers, and they're just allowing the underneath plays, obviously trying to allow a little clock to run down here. Again, the Falcons back in the huddle.
And it is enough for the first down. So 1st and goal, Falcons. Stand up, toss it in the flat for the touchdown to White. White and Wilson with a little jawing afterwards. But Matt Ryan just raising up, tossing it to White, took it into the end zone.
How about
with
that?
4:15.
How about that drive by Matty Ice there? Not a single run on the entire play, on the entire drive, and he takes them the length of the field. Again, I don't understand exactly why the Cardinals are playing their cornerbacks back in the end zone when they're on the 5-yard line. They just gave up a cheap touchdown.
Mason Elam. Extra point is good. Touchdown for Roddy White, who's had a big season. Mike Ryan, Matty's older brother, applauds as they pull within 6. 6-point game with 4:15 left. Arizona takes over, and the last time they came off the field after their drive, here's what Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, said to them. So Todd Haley saying the game was in their hands. The offense about to get the football here. Canaan's kickoff. Arrington out of the end zone. Decked at the 20-yard line, where they will begin. And Sunday, January 11th, the party of the year is back and bigger than ever. All the stars of TV and movies let loose at the Golden Globes. That's January 11th on NBC.
Tom, you hear all the time about the 4-minute offense, and we have 4 minutes and 10 seconds here, and this is exactly what it is. You have the ball on offense. You want to be able to grind out the remainder of the clock and not give it back to the Atlanta Falcons. Usually running teams are more successful with it. Do they have that kind of faith in their running game here to stay with it?
But how many times has Kurt Warner been in this situation? Super Bowl MVP and league MVP. He's going to toss, and it's a dangerous one.